Hey everyone, my name is Chelsea. Welcome to Little Mountain Ranch. Welcome to my home. This is Martha over here that you just watched me light. This is my wood cook stove. She is an Elmira oval and I love her to pieces. I haven't actually had a lot of opportunity to use her this winter because it has been so warm all winter long. We do have a wood furnace down in the basement and that works really well to keep the house warm as long as it's kind of around -15 or warmer. Once it gets colder than that, we usually have to light Martha up. And our fireplace over here, just to keep the house nice and toasty. So even though it is an absolutely spectacularly beautiful day outside today and it's not that cold, I really wanted to cook on the wood cook stove. So I decided I would light her up and make something yummy for lunch today. So I decided to use some of the leftover hamburger buns that we have from burgers that we had last night, or maybe it was the night before. I have a whole bunch of them that need to get used up. So I decided to make kind of a chicken melt slider sandwich with them. So we have some canned chicken here, finely chopped red onions, some freeze-dried celery that I've just had soaking. It's a cup of celery to a cup of water, and I've just had this soaking for the last little bit. I have found with reconstituting freeze-dried celery that you do want to let it soak for quite a while because it does have a little bit of a tough, like kind of a woody texture to it. I don't find that when I use it in soups and I cook the soups for a couple of hours, it's just fine. But for soaking, you definitely want to give it a little bit of time. I also have some pickled jalapenos and banana peppers, it looks like, are in here. Some zucchini relish, and then some mayonnaise that I have over here that we're going to mix all these things together. And then I am going to assemble these sandwiches and put them in some baking trays, cover them with some garlic butter and a little bit of cheddar cheese, and pop them into the wood cook stove and cook those up for lunch. I think they are going to taste delicious. I love listening to the sound of the wood stove crackling in the background. It's one of the disadvantages of having my other wood stove downstairs is I don't get to hear that sound unless I'm down there. So I'm gonna grab my trays here. So the liquid from these is going to go out to my dogs, and I'll just soak their dog food in it. We feed our livestock guardian dogs a mix of kibble and raw meat, and then sometimes juice like this from canned chicken or canned turkey. This is canned chicken, and a mix of dark and light meat. So into this 2 quarts of meat, well, probably altogether it's around 1 quart, 4 cups or so. We're gonna add some, if we can get it out of here, some of this mayonnaise. I've decided that once this mayonnaise is done that I have in my food storage, we're gonna switch over to homemade mayonnaise. Because I am really inspired right now to make what I can, especially things that have additives in them. Things like mayonnaise that are relatively easy to make from scratch. I'm just going to do that, even if it takes a little bit of extra time. I think it's going to be worth it. And that was around 2 tablespoons or so. Oh, that is a little stuck. There we go. I'll just do a couple of these so it's not too spicy. I want this to be fairly fine. Little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of salt, pepper, and another mix. Flavor's good, but it does need a little bit more mayonnaise. Just added a little bit of water to it. so it'll come out a little bit more easily. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just gonna get a pot over on Martha with some butter, and this will be just to brush over top of our buns. I'll slice our buns in half. I put my cutting board away too soon. I think my butter is melted already. Not quite, but close. Butter is all melted. So I'm gonna grab another tray because I have a few extra buns here. Might as well use them all up. These sweaters that I wear in pretty much every video because I love them so much. I don't know what I'm gonna do come summertime when it's too warm to wear them, are from a company, a BC company called Simply Merino. And I have been buying from them probably for about 6 or 7 months now, and the woman who owns the company had contacted me a little while ago and offered a discount code for you guys, which is LMR, for 10% off of anything in her store, and I can highly recommend these. They're so incredibly comfortable, and for somebody like me who can't wear wool normally because it gives me a rash and makes me super itchy, I can wear these no problem, and they're so warm and so comfortable. So definitely recommend if you are in the market right now for some new good quality clothes. So now let's get a fork. I find it's easiest to spread this filling around with a fork than with anything else. I cannot remember if I mentioned this in my last video or not, but I have been feeling this for the last couple of days where I feel like I'm ready to be done with the Pantry Challenge and be able to go to the grocery store only for the reason of being able to buy fruits and vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables. And this, obviously we could go to the store if we wanted to, but we have really made a commitment to not go to the grocery store for 2 months, 2 entire months. And like I said, Dan and I are going to be giving you a full kind of rundown on our experience with it, and it has been massively beneficial. But I am ready for some fresh vegetables. Actually, I don't miss fruit because we've been having lots of freeze-dried fruit and frozen fruit and smoothies and things like that, and I'm actually not a big fruit person anyway, but I am really missing fresh veggies. Like frozen and freeze-dried and canned veggies just do not cut it for me. I am somebody who really loves vegetables. I love salads. I just love veggies, so I'm missing them for sure. Going to add some grated cheese on here. So now we're just going to put our tops on our buns. Those little push down, a little bit of garlic to our butter, and this is salted butter. And cover these guys up again. And we're going to sprinkle a little bit more cheese on top, because why not go all out? And into the oven we go. This one's not going to fit in. I thought I was going to be able to fit it in on the bottom, but they're a little bit too high, so I'll wait and do these ones after. I like to use bigger wood like this in the cook stove when I am baking. When I am cooking on the stove top, I like smaller wood because then the flames come up and they heat up the top a little bit faster. But for baking, I like the bigger stuff. While those are baking in the oven, they'll probably take around 15 minutes or so. We are going to head outside and go check on my sheep. I have sheep that are due to lamb any day now, and I am checking on them regularly, so I thought I would bring you down, and then we'll probably take a wander over and check out the cows too, because I know many of you love to see my cows. So let's head out and do that. Oh my gosh, look at it out here. Just beautiful. We have a couple of inches of snow on the ground. It started snowing yesterday morning, I think, and snowed all the way through until late last night. And it has made everything nice and bright, so bright. Oh my gosh. I am a fairly novice sheep owner. I have owned the odd sheep over the years, but just usually one or two. My kids have been offered bottle lambs in the past, and so they've raised up bottle lambs. But I think we've only had a sheep lamb maybe once or twice. A couple years ago, we did have a couple of sheep that lambed, but they were Katahdin sheep, which are a haired sheep, and you don't have to shear them. The sheep that I have now are Romneys. Actually, let's go up this way. And they need to be shorn. A lot of people will shear their sheep like we did last year before they are supposed to lamb. But being that we're still in winter right now and it's still a bit cold, I didn't want to have them shorn just in case the temperatures drop again. And so somebody did tell me the other day, though, that it's a good idea to shear their stomachs anyway. And hello, everybody. And that way it's easier for the babies to find the teats, and to shear their back end as well, because then it just helps to keep the wool clean. Okay, here we are with my sheepies. And I do have a sheep lying here on her side, and she doesn't usually do that. So I'm just gonna jump in and take a closer look. Hey, little girl. Hi. Seem a little unsteady on your feet. You okay there, little one? You're kind of forming an udder. Yes, you are forming an udder a little bit. Back end still looks all right. You okay? Does that feel good? Let's give you a scratch. Oh, does that feel good? Let's see if we can feel your babies. She's one of my friendly sheep, as you can tell. No, but she definitely feels bred to me, which is really good. She was one I was questioning, but she has a nice pink back end and she is starting to form a little baby udder. But I would guess she probably has a month to go still. I guess she was just crashed out having a nap. How's everybody else doing? How are you, Prim? These guys are not very friendly. She's forming a nice udder. She is forming a nice udder. So that's good. We are most definitely going to have some babies soon. Hey? So I did order a pair of shears. They're supposed to be here in 2 days. So hopefully these guys will wait and not lamb until then, so I can get their back ends and their tummies all shaved up. My plan is to let them lamb in this pen, and then shortly after they lamb, I'll put them in a separate pen by themselves with their babies, just so that they can bond and the babies don't get confused. This has been the advice that's been given to me by other people that have small flocks like this that can manage them that way. She is just so sweet. We have been working to get the other ones to be as affectionate and sweet as she is, but they're just still pretty skittish. Our ram is the other chocolate colored one over there, and he is fortunately not in any way aggressive, which is good, but not friendly. Can't really pet him. The pigs are enjoying the sunshine too, it looks like. Let's go see how the cows are doing. I'm happy because of this really warm year that we have had. We have not gone through as much of our hay as we usually do, so we have lots of hay left. Hi, Boba. This fella here is Boba. Hi, buddy. How you doing? He's one of our shop cats, but he loves coming down and hanging out on the hay bales too. Such a good boy. Oh man, the sun doing me a world of good. Let's go see how the cows are doing. Oh, look at that. There's some of them way out over there. They have been able to graze way longer on the pastures than they ever have in years past. When there's only this much snow, they'll actually dig in it to eat the grass underneath. Hey, cutie. Hi, how are you? Very alert little baby, aren't you? Don't worry, I'm not going to take you to the barn. She's used to having to go to the barn at night, so she's trying to stay away from me. Hey, Freya, how you doing? Oh, you got a burr in your cheek. How's everybody doing? Is your mama down there? I don't blame you for wanting to go down there. It looks absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness. A friend was telling me they weren't able to open up the local ski hill this year just because we just didn't have enough snow. That makes me sad for them. Man, that must be hard. Hi, pigs. Hello, lady. How's it going? How are you? It always makes me happy for the animals when it's warm and sunny like this. They seem to appreciate it as much as I do. I've decided I'm going to try doing a little bit of winter sowing in my high tunnel this year, and I'm just going to use some of those plastic domes. I know lots of people use milk jugs, but I don't have access to milk jugs, so I'm going to use those plastic dome covers that I use for seed starting sometimes, and try doing some spinach and some kale and some other cool crops. I tend to garden in the same way that I do lots of things on my farm really intensively over a short period of time. And winter sowing has just never really appealed to me, but it's so warm this year that my bet is if I try, I will get some early greens. Maybe it's my desire to have some more veggies in my diet that is inspiring me to want to try it, but we'll probably do that in the next video. I almost feel like pulling out a lawn chair and just sitting in the sun for a while. It's just beautiful. But do need to head back up and see if our sandwiches are ready. They should be by now. I decided to make some slaw with the pickled slaw that I made. And where did my can opener go? There it is. This has peppers and onion and grated carrot along with the cabbage in it. It's really good. So I just drained the liquid out, and I have already have celery seed in here as well. So I actually really just need to add mayo and maybe a little bit of sugar to this in order for it to be good to go. One of the other things that I like this on is when we have pulled pork sandwiches. This is really yummy on pulled pork. That's good. Still has a little bit of crunch to it as well. Just going to add a pinch of sugar just to counter the the vinegar flavor a little bit. Whenever you're going to add sugar to a slaw like this, do let it sit for a little bit just so that the sugar can dissolve and you don't have kind of crunchiness in your salad. So I could add other stuff to this, but I'm not going to because I think that's going to be just fine. Let's grab a sandwich out of our dish there. A bit of the slaw. And give this a try. That is delicious. Yum. This is going to be a yummy lunch. I would really encourage you to give this a try. You could also use fish. You could use turkey, you could use ham, chicken, anything like that, and have something absolutely delicious. This would be really good with ham, actually. I just wanted to remind those of you that didn't hear in my last video, but I'm doing another newsletter giveaway for a 921 All-American pressure canner for people in Canada and the United States, and a cookbook that I will sign with your name or whatever you'd like me to write in it for those of you that are international. So usually my international subscribers get the short end of the stick when I do a giveaway, just because a lot of the stuff that I'm giving away I can only ship within North America because the shipping is cost prohibitive, but I can send one of my cookbooks to you. There's a link in the show notes below to sign up for my newsletter, and then you will get automatically entered. And if you are already on my newsletter list, you are automatically entered into the giveaway. And I usually send out a newsletter every week or two, so I'm not spamming your inbox. And my newsletters, I try to put valuable information that can be helpful for you. We often put recipes in there, tips for gardening, things like that. So yes, like I said, it's in the show notes below. All right, friends, that is it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye.